want to forget about this one as well, though. Negotiations underway to determine our military's future role in Afghanistan. The United States wants to continue night raids on the homes of suspected terrorists after the 2014 deadline to withdraw. And now reports of a proposed deal that would include the president admitting in a letter that the United States made mistakes in Afghanistan. National security correspondent Jennifer Griffin is live at the Pentagon with more on this. So, Jen, there's a big day in Kabul tomorrow. What exactly is happening there? Why is it significant?
Well, Jenna, about 2,500 tribal elders will meet in Kabul tomorrow to essentially decide the fate of whether any U.S. troops will be able to stay in Afghanistan post-2014. The meeting is so important. It's called a Loya Jirga. It's so important to the process of getting a bilateral security or status of forces agreement that Secretary of State John Kerry called Afghan President Hamid Karzai yesterday. Remember, Kerry flew out to Afghanistan last month when it looked like a deal was on the rocks and stalled. The reason this is so important is remember, the U.S. failed to reach a similar agreement in Iraq and had to pull all of its troops out at the end of the war. None could stay behind and train Iraqi forces or carry out counterterrorism operations. A lack of agreement in Afghanistan would severely impact the U.S. ability to carry out drone strikes in Afghanistan and Pakistan. So all eyes are on this meeting of tribal elders known as a Loya Jirga. It takes place tomorrow in Kabul.
So we'll watch for that. In the meantime, what about these reports that the president is planning to apologize to the Afghan people?
Well, that is a report that came out of President Karzai's office yesterday, and now it appears as though the entire agreement is stalled. National Security Advisor Susan Rice told CNN yesterday that there was no letter, that the president did not plan to apologize to the Afghan people, but that's very different from what we were hearing from President Karzai's office in Afghanistan yesterday. Here's Jay Carney yesterday at the White House.
Well, what I can tell you is we don't comment on presidential correspondence, and I don't have any specifics on any language of a letter that hasn't been written. More broadly, I would reiterate that we take every precaution to prevent civilian casualties, and we always express regret when civilians are killed.
This is a very sensitive issue for the Afghans, and for those 2,500 tribal elders to sign off on any security agreement, there's going to need to be more compromise, more negotiation, and it may, in fact, in the end, scupper an agreement. And this will have a very big impact on how many troops, if any troops, can stay in Afghanistan after next year. Jenna?
All right, so we'll wait and watch for the headlines. Consider the source of that news as well as we continue to watch what happens in Afghanistan. Jennifer, thank you.